She thought giving a crying stranger a sandwich in a dark alley was just a random act of kindness. But that broken man turned out to be the most feared crime boss in the city. When rival mobsters decided she knew too much, Maya Torres found herself trapped between a world of violence she never asked for and a man whose deadly protection came with a price she wasn't sure she could pay. What started as a simple hug in the rain would spiral into a dangerous game of survival, where every choice could mean life or death for her and her mute 7-year-old brother. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The monster she was supposed to fear would become the only man who could save her soul. Subscribe and tell me in the comments if you've ever helped a stranger who completely changed your life, because this story is about to prove that sometimes one moment of compassion can rewrite your entire destiny. The rain hammered the alley behind Murphy's Diner. Maya Torres pulled her thin jacket tighter and stepped over broken glass. Her shift had ended 20 minutes ago, but she'd stayed to clean tables nobody else would touch. The money mattered. Every dollar mattered. Her apartment was 6 blocks away through streets that got worse after midnight. Maya walked fast and kept her head down. She'd learned that lesson years ago. A sound stopped her. Not the rain or distant traffic. Something else. Crying. Maya felt her chest tighten. She should keep walking. Nothing good happened in alleys at 2 a.m. Her brother Sammy was alone in their apartment, probably awake and waiting for her. The sound came again, raw and broken. She turned the corner and saw him. A man sat against the brick wall, knees pulled to his chest. Blood soaked his white shirt. His shoulders shook with each sob. Maya's breath caught. He looked expensive. His suit probably cost more than she made in 3 months. But sitting there in the rain, he looked like every broken person she'd ever seen. "Are you hurt?" she asked. He lifted his head, dark hair stuck to his forehead. His eyes were red and empty. "I'm fine," he said. His voice was rough. "You're bleeding." "It's not mine." Maya felt a chill that had nothing to do with rain. She should run. Every instinct screamed at her to turn around and forget what she'd seen. Instead, she stepped closer. "When did you last eat?" He stared at her. "What? Food. When?" "I don't remember." Maya reached into her purse and pulled out half a sandwich, turkey and mustard on white bread. Nothing special, but it was what she had. "Here." He didn't move. "Take it," she said. Their fingers touched when he reached for the sandwich. His skin was cold. He ate without speaking, and Maya watched rain wash the blood from his shirt. "Why?" he asked finally. "Why what? Why help me?" Maya felt sadness squeeze her heart. Everyone needs help sometimes. Something shifted in his expression. The emptiness flickered. "What's your name?" "Maya." "Maya," he repeated. Her name sounded different in his voice, careful and exact. "I should go," she said. "My brother's waiting." He nodded and started to stand. Maya reached out without thinking and wrapped her arms around him. His body went rigid. For a heartbeat, she thought he might push her away. Then his arms came up slowly and held her back. They stood there in the rain, 2 strangers sharing warmth in a cold world. "Thank you," he whispered against her hair. When Maya pulled away, his eyes were different, still sad, but not empty. "Will you be okay?" "I will now." Maya walked home through empty streets. She didn't look back, but she felt him watching until she turned the corner. She never saw the black car that followed her. The knock came at dawn, hard and demanding. Maya jerked awake on the couch where she'd fallen asleep waiting for Sammy to settle. Her 7-year-old brother hadn't spoken in 6 months, not since the accident that took their parents. The knocking came again. "Just a minute," Maya called. She checked the peephole and saw a large man in a cheap suit. Behind him stood 2 others. "Maya Torres?" the first man asked when she cracked the door. "Who's asking?" "Police. We need to talk." Maya's chest tightened. "About what?" "Can we come in?" "No." She kept the chain on. "Talk from there." The man's eyes narrowed. "There was an incident last night. 3 men were found dead in an alley downtown." Maya felt cold creep up her spine. "I don't know anything about that." "Witnesses saw a woman leaving the area around 2 a.m. Witnesses see lots of things. This woman had long dark hair, about your height." Maya's breath caught. Half the women in this city have long dark hair. "Where were you last night between midnight and 3 a.m.? "Working, then home." "Can anyone verify that?" Maya thought of the man in the alley. The blood on his shirt, that wasn't his. "My manager at the diner," she said. "Bill Murphy." The man wrote something down. "We may have more questions." "Then call first." Maya closed the door and turned the deadbolt. Her hands shook as she walked to Sammy's room. He was awake, sitting cross-legged on his bed with his drawing pad. He looked up when she entered, his brown eyes questioning. "Just some confused people," Maya said. "Nothing to worry about." Sammy didn't buy it. He never did. The kid was too smart for his own good. Maya sat beside him and looked at his drawing, a house with smoke coming from the chimney. 2 stick figures stood in the yard holding hands. "That's beautiful," she said. Sammy pointed to the figures, then to himself and Maya. "You and me?" He nodded. "Someday," Maya promised, "we'll have our own house." Sammy wrote something on the paper. "When?" Maya felt her throat tighten. "Soon." She hoped she wasn't lying. The diner was busy for a Tuesday morning. Maya refilled coffee cups and took orders and tried not to think about dead men in alleys. She'd worked at Murphy's for 2 years. It wasn't much, but Bill paid fair wages and didn't ask questions when she needed time off for Sammy. "Table 6 wants their eggs over easy, not scrambled," Linda called from behind the counter. Maya nodded and carried the plate back to the kitchen. When she returned, a man sat in her section. Not just any man. He was tall and broad-shouldered, wearing a dark suit that fit perfectly. His black hair was combed back, and his eyes tracked every movement in the room. Maya felt her stomach drop. He looked like the kind of person who made other people disappear. "What can I get you?" she asked. "Coffee, black." Maya poured and waited. He didn't order food or ask for a menu, just sat there watching. "Anything else?" "Maya Torres?" Her blood turned to ice. "Who wants to know?" "A friend." "I don't have friends who wear suits." The man's mouth almost smiled. "You should be more careful who you help." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Last night, the alley." Maya's breath caught. "I want you to leave." "Not until we talk." "There's nothing to talk about." The man reached into his jacket. Maya stepped back, ready to run or scream. Instead of a weapon, he pulled out a photograph. 3 men lying in blood and rain. "Recognize them?" Maya's chest tightened. She'd never seen the men before, but she recognized the alley. "No," she said. "They worked for Anthony Calabresi. Heard of him?" "No." "He's not the forgiving type. When his people disappear, he looks for answers." Maya felt sick. "What does this have to do with me?" "You were the last person to see our mutual friend." "What friend?" The man stood. He was bigger than she'd thought. "Think carefully about your next few choices, Miss Torres. Some people don't get second chances." He left money on the table and walked out. Maya's hands shook as she cleaned the table. The photograph was gone, but she could still see those dead faces. Bill appeared beside her. "You okay?" "Fine." "That guy bothering you?" Maya looked at her boss. Bill was 60 and kind, but he couldn't protect her from men like that. No, she said, just a difficult customer. Bill didn't look convinced, but he let it go. Maya finished her shift and walked home through crowded streets. Every black car made her heart race. Every man in a suit made her want to run. She picked up Sammy from school and held his hand tight. He sensed her fear and pressed closer. "Everything's okay," she told him. But Maya knew she was lying. That night she found an envelope under her door. No name or address, just thick paper and expensive ink. Inside was $500 in crisp bills, and a note, "For your kindness." Maya stared at the money. $500 was more than she made in 2 weeks. It could pay rent and groceries, and maybe new shoes for Sammy. It could also be a trap. She'd grown up in this neighborhood. She knew how these things worked. Nobody gave away money without wanting something back. Maya felt tired in her bones. She worked 60 hours a week and still couldn't get ahead. The bills kept coming and Sammy needed things she couldn't afford, but this money felt wrong. She put it back in the envelope and hid it under her mattress. If things got desperate, she'd decide later. "Maya?" Sammy stood in the doorway wearing pajamas that were too small. "What's wrong, baby?" He walked to the window and pointed outside. A black sedan sat across the street. Tinted windows, engine running. Maya felt her chest tighten. "Come away from there." She pulled the curtains closed and checked the locks on the door. Then she checked them again. "We're playing a game," she told Sammy. "We're going to stay away from the windows tonight." Sammy's eyes went wide, but he nodded. Maya made hot chocolate, and they sat on the couch reading picture books. Every few minutes she heard a car door slam or footsteps on the stairs. It was going to be a long night. Maya's boss fired her on Thursday. "I'm sorry," Bill said. "I don't have a choice." "What did I do wrong?" "Nothing, but some people came by asking questions. About you." Maya felt cold wash over her. "What kind of questions?" "The kind I don't want to answer. The kind that bring trouble." "Bill, please, I need this job." "I know, and I'm sorry. But I've got other employees to think about." Maya stood there holding her apron. 2 years of early mornings and late nights, gone. "What am I supposed to do?" Bill's eyes were sad, but firm. "Find somewhere else to work. Somewhere those men won't come looking." Maya walked home in a daze. No job meant no money. No money meant no apartment. No apartment meant losing Sammy. She thought about the envelope under her mattress. When she picked up Sammy from school, his teacher pulled her aside. "He seems anxious lately," Mrs. Peterson said, "more withdrawn than usual. We're going through a rough patch." "Is there anything the school can do?" Maya almost laughed. The school couldn't give her a job or make scary men disappear. "We're fine," she said. That afternoon, Maya walked to 3 different restaurants asking about work. 2 weren't hiring. The third took one look at her and said they'd call. They wouldn't call. Maya felt despair creeping in. She had enough money for 2 weeks of rent, maybe 3, if they ate nothing but rice and beans. She thought again about the envelope. That evening, she was crossing the street when a horn blared. Maya jumped back as a car sped past, missing her by inches. "Careful!" She turned and saw him, the man from the alley. Clean and dressed in an expensive coat, but definitely him. Maya's breath caught. "You. Me." He looked different in daylight, dangerous in a way she hadn't noticed before. His dark eyes missed nothing. "Are you following me?" she asked. "Yes." The honesty surprised her. "Why?" "You're in trouble." "I didn't do anything wrong." "Sometimes that doesn't matter." Maya looked around. People walked past without noticing them, but she felt exposed. "I helped you," she said. That's all. I know. Then leave me alone. Something shifted in his expression. I can't do that. Why not? Because they won't leave you alone. Maya felt scared and angry and tired. Who's they? People who think you know something you don't. Know what? What happened that night? Maya's chest tightened. Nothing happened. I found you crying and gave you a sandwich. And saved my life. The words hung between them. Maya searched his face for lies and found none. I don't understand, she said. You don't need to. You just need to stay safe. I can take care of myself. His mouth almost smiled, but not with humor. Can you? Before Maya could answer, he was gone. Disappeared into the crowd moving down the sidewalk. Maya stood there shaking, not from cold, but from the certainty that her life had just changed forever. The break-in happened on Friday night. Maya woke to the sound of splintering wood. For a confused moment, she thought someone was doing construction. Then she heard heavy footsteps in her living room. Her blood turned to ice. Maya grabbed Sammy and pulled him into the bathroom. She locked the door and pressed her back against it. Stay quiet, she whispered. Sammy's eyes were huge with fear, but he nodded. The footsteps moved through the apartment, systematic, searching. Where is it? A voice called, rough and impatient. Not here, another voice answered. Boss said she has it. Boss is wrong sometimes. Maya's heart hammered against her ribs. What were they looking for? She didn't have anything except old furniture and Sammy's clothes. Then she remembered the envelope. The men spent 20 minutes tearing through everything she owned. Maya heard drawers being pulled out and cushions thrown around. Finally, the sound stopped. Nothing, the first voice said. Tell the boss. He's not going to like it. Not our problem. The front door slammed. Maya waited another 10 minutes before she moved. When she finally opened the bathroom door, her small apartment looked like a tornado had hit it. Everything was destroyed. Dishes broken, clothes scattered, furniture overturned. But they hadn't found the money. It was still taped under her mattress, exactly where she'd hidden it. Maya called 911 with shaking hands. The police came, took notes, and left. They promised to patrol the area, but Maya knew they wouldn't find anything. She spent the rest of the night cleaning up while Sammy sat on his bed drawing. When she looked at his picture, she saw dark figures breaking things, while two people hid. It's okay, Maya told him. They're gone. But she knew they'd be back. The man in the expensive coat was waiting outside Sammy's school on Monday. Maya felt her chest tighten when she saw him. He looked relaxed, reading a newspaper on a bench, but she knew he was watching. Stay close, she told Sammy. They started walking home, but the man fell into step beside them. We need to talk, he said. I'm with my brother. I know. Maya stopped, walking. What do you want? To keep you alive. The words hit her stomach. Are you threatening me? I'm stating a fact. Maya looked down at Sammy, who was watching the conversation with worried eyes. Not here, she said. The man nodded. Tonight, midnight, the diner where you work. I don't work there anymore. I know. Maya felt frustrated and scared. How do you know everything? It's my job. What is your job? The man's eyes found hers, dark and unreadable, keeping track of what matters. He walked away before she could respond. That night, Maya left Sammy with Mrs. Chen next door and walked to the diner. The street was empty, except for a few cars and some homeless people sleeping in doorways. The man was waiting by the back entrance, still in his expensive coat, but now she noticed the way he stood. Alert. Ready. You came, he said. I want answers. Fair enough. He opened the diner's back door with a key she was sure he shouldn't have. How did you... I own this building. Maya followed him inside. The diner looked strange in the dark. Familiar, but wrong. What's your name? She asked. Luca. Luca what? Romano. The name meant nothing to her, but something in his voice said it should. Who are you, really? Luca turned on a light above one of the booths. In the yellow glow, his face looked tired. Someone who owes you a debt. I don't want anything from you. I know. That's why this is complicated. Maya sat across from him. The vinyl booth squeaked under her weight. 3 nights ago, men broke into my apartment, she said. They were looking for something. I know. They think I have something that belongs to you. They're wrong. Then why won't they leave me alone? Luca was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was careful. Because they don't understand what happened that night. What did happen? I was having the worst night of my life. 3 men were sent to kill me. Maya's breath caught. Kill you? You found me after I dealt with them. Dealt with them how? Luca's eyes found hers. How do you think? Maya felt sick. The blood on his shirt. The dead men in the photograph. You killed them. Yes. All 3? Yes. Maya stood up fast. The booth scraped against the floor. I have to go. Sit down. No. Maya, sit down. His voice was different now. Not threatening, but absolute. The voice of someone used to being obeyed. Maya sat. I didn't plan to kill them, Luca said. They gave me no choice. There's always a choice. Not in my world. What world is that? Luca was quiet again. Outside, a siren wailed in the distance. A world where weakness gets you buried. Maya's chest tightened. You're in organized crime. I run organized crime. The words hung between them. Maya stared at this man who'd seemed broken and harmless in the rain. You're a crime boss. Yes. And you killed 3 people. Yes. And now other criminals think I'm involved. Yes. Maya felt dizzy. This is insane. I know. I just tried to help. I know that too. Maya put her head in her hands. What am I supposed to do? Let me protect you. I don't need protection from you. I need protection from you. Luca leaned forward. Maya, listen to me. Anthony Calabrese thinks you witnessed what happened. He thinks you can identify me. I don't know anything. But he doesn't know that. So tell him. It doesn't work that way. Maya felt trapped and angry. Then how does it work? He eliminates problems. Permanently. The word hit her like a physical blow. He wants to kill me. Yes. And Sammy? Anyone who might be a threat. Maya's breath caught. Her baby brother, who'd never hurt anyone in his life. This is insane, she said again. I know. Fix it. I can't. You're the boss of something. Fix it. Luca's expression softened slightly. It's not that simple. Make it simple. Maya, no. She stood up again. You fix this. You clean up your mess and leave us alone. I can't do that. Why not? Because I won't let anything happen to you. Something in his voice made her stop. Not the authority, but something underneath it. Something that sounded almost broken. Why? She asked quietly. Because you saved my life when you didn't have to. I gave you a sandwich. You gave me hope. The words hung in the air. Maya studied his face and saw something she hadn't expected. Gratitude and something deeper. I have to go, she said. Sammy's waiting. Think about what I said. About protection? About staying alive? Maya walked to the door, then turned back. If you really want to help, disappear. Take your world and your enemies and go somewhere else. I can't do that either. Why not? Luca's eyes found hers one more time. Because they know where you live. Maya didn't sleep that night. Every sound made her jump. Every car that passed made her check the locks. At dawn, she made breakfast and tried to pretend everything was normal. Sammy ate his cereal and watched her with worried eyes. The knock came at 7:30. Maya looked through the peephole and saw Luca standing in the hallway. Behind him were two other men in dark suits. "Go to your room," she told Sammy. He shook his head. "Now." Sammy reluctantly walked away, but Maya knew he'd be listening from the hallway. She opened the door but kept the chain on. "What do you want?" "To talk." "We talked last night." "Last night you weren't listening." Maya felt exhausted. "I heard every word." "But you didn't hear what I was really saying." One of the men behind Luca stepped forward. He was older and broader, with gray hair and cold eyes. "Miss Torres," he said, "my name is Vittorio Rossi. I work for Mr. Romano." "Congratulations." Vittorio didn't smile. 3 hours ago, Anthony Calabresi's people were seen watching your building." Maya's chest tightened. "Watching for what?" "You. I didn't do anything. Doesn't matter what you did, matters what they think you did." Luca spoke quietly. "Maya, you need to come with us." "No, this isn't a request." Maya's anger flared. "It's not a command either. This is my home." "Not anymore," Vittorio said. "Your landlord evicted you this morning." "That's impossible. My rent's not due until—" "Money talks louder than leases." Maya felt the world tilt. "You can't do this." "We didn't," Luca said. "Calabresi did. He wants you homeless and desperate." "Why?" "Easier to disappear someone who's already lost." Maya's breath caught. Through the crack in the door, she could see Luca's face clearly. He looked tired and worried. "Let us help," he said. "Your help is what got me into this." "My help is what's going to get you out." Maya heard footsteps in the hallway behind the men. Someone else was coming. "Decide now," Vittorio said. "Come with us, or deal with whoever's coming up those stairs." Maya's heart hammered. She thought of Sammy in his bedroom, drawing pictures of houses they'd never have. 5 minutes, she said, to pack. Luca nodded. 5 minutes. Maya threw clothes into garbage bags while Sammy watched from his bed. His eyes were wide and scared. "Are we moving?" he asked. Maya's breath caught. He'd spoken. First words in 6 months, and they were about being afraid. "For a little while," she said, "like a vacation." "I don't want to go." "I know, baby, but we have to." Sammy got off the bed and wrapped his arms around her waist. Maya felt her heart break a little. "I'm scared," he whispered. "Me too. But I won't let anything happen to you." "Promise?" "Promise." Maya packed their few possessions and tried not to think about what they were leaving behind. 2 years in this apartment. Not much, but it had been home. When she opened the door, Luca was waiting alone. "Where are the other men?" "Handling things." Maya didn't ask what that meant. She took Sammy's hand and followed Luca downstairs. A black car waited at the curb, expensive and sleek, with tinted windows. "Get in," Luca said. Maya hesitated. Once she got in that car, there would be no going back. Sammy tugged her hand. "Maya?" She looked down at her brother's trusting face and made her choice. The car was warm and quiet, leather seats and soft music. Sammy pressed against Maya's side as the city rolled past outside. "Where are we going?" Maya asked. "Somewhere safe." That's not an answer. It's the only answer that matters. Maya watched familiar streets disappear. They were heading toward the expensive part of town where she'd never lived and never belonged. "How long?" she asked. Until it's over. When will that be? Luca's eyes found hers in the rearview mirror. When Calabrese is dead. The mansion sat behind iron gates and high walls. Maya stared through the car window at manicured lawns and stone fountains. This is your house? One of them. The gates opened automatically as they approached. Guards stood at checkpoints, watching everything. How many people live here? Maya asked. It varies. The car stopped in front of massive wooden doors. A woman emerged from the house, wiping her hands on a kitchen towel. She was small and round, with silver hair and kind eyes. Maya felt some of her fear ease. Mrs. Enzo, Lucas said as they got out of the car. This is Maya and Sammy. Mrs. Enzo smiled warmly. Welcome. You must be tired. Maya nodded. A little. I've prepared rooms for you. Nothing fancy, but comfortable. Sammy hid behind Maya's legs, peering out at the enormous house. It's okay, Mrs. Enzo told him gently. There are cookies in the kitchen. Sammy's eyes lit up, but he didn't move. He doesn't talk much, Maya explained. Smart boy. Sometimes listening is more important than speaking. Mrs. Enzo led them inside. The house was even more impressive inside than out. High ceilings, expensive art, furniture that probably cost more than Maya made in a year. Mr. Romano told me to give you anything you need, Mrs. Enzo said. Food, clothes, books for the boy. How long are we staying? Maya asked. As long as necessary. Maya felt trapped again. Everyone kept giving her non-answers. Their rooms were on the second floor, 2 bedrooms connected by a bathroom. Maya's room had a king-sized bed and windows that overlooked the gardens. Sammy's room had toys and books and a bed shaped like a race car. Who sleeps here usually? Maya asked. Mrs. Enzo's expression grew sad. No one. Not for a long time. Why not? Mr. Romano had a daughter once. Maya's chest tightened. Had? She died 3 years ago. Car accident. I'm sorry. So is he. That's why he keeps the room ready. Mrs. Enzo left them to settle in. Maya sat on the enormous bed and tried to process everything that had happened. Yesterday morning, she'd had a job and an apartment. Now she was a guest in a crime boss's mansion. Sammy appeared in the doorway. Maya? What is it? Are we safe now? Maya looked at her little brother, 7 years old and too smart for his own good. Yes, she said. We're safe. She hoped she wasn't lying. Dinner was in a dining room that could seat 20 people. Maya and Sammy sat at one end of a long table while Mrs. Enzo served pasta and bread. Where's Mr. Romano? Maya asked. Working, Mrs. Enzo said. He'll join you later. What kind of work does he do? Mrs. Enzo gave her a look. The kind that keeps food on this table. Maya understood. Don't ask questions you don't want answered. Sammy ate quietly, his eyes wide as he took in the expensive surroundings. Maya could see him trying to process everything. This is temporary, she told him, until we can find our own place. Mrs. Enzo set down her fork. And where would that be? I don't know yet. Child, you don't understand the situation. Then explain it to me. Anthony Calabrese doesn't forgive. He doesn't forget. Until he's dealt with, you can't go back to your old life. Maya felt anger rise in her chest. So I'm a prisoner. You're protected. Same thing. No, Mrs. Enzo said firmly. Not the same thing at all. After dinner, Mrs. Enzo showed them around the house. Library, game room, indoor pool. Everything Sammy had ever dreamed of and more. Can I swim? He asked. Tomorrow, Maya said, after we talk to Mr. Romano. But Maya was beginning to think talking to Luca Romano only made things more complicated. Maya found Luca in his study at 9 o'clock. The room was dark except for a lamp on his desk. He was reading papers and making notes. "Busy night?" she asked. He looked up. "Always." "What exactly do you do for a living?" "I thought that was obvious." "Humor me." Luca set down his pen. "I run a family business. Import, export, real estate. And murder? When necessary?" Maya felt a chill. He said it so casually. "How often is it necessary?" "Less than you might think. More than I'd prefer." Maya sat in the chair across from his desk. "I want to go home." "You don't have a home anymore." "Then I want to find a new one." "Where?" "I don't know. Another city, another state. Calabrese has connections everywhere." "Then what am I supposed to do?" Luca was quiet for a long moment. "Accept that your life has changed. I didn't ask for my life to change." "Neither did I." Maya studied his face. "What do you mean?" 3 years ago, I had a wife and daughter. I thought I could keep them separate from my business." "What happened?" "Anthony Calabrese happened. He killed them to hurt me." Maya's breath caught. "I'm sorry." "Don't be sorry. Be careful." "I am being careful." "No, you're being stubborn. There's a difference." Maya felt frustrated. "So what's your plan? Keep me here forever?" "Keep you alive." "That's not a plan. That's a prison sentence." Luca stood and walked to the window. Outside, Maya could see guards patrolling the grounds. "Do you know what I was doing the night you found me?" he asked. "Besides killing people?" "Besides that." Maya shook her head. "I was visiting my wife's grave. It was the anniversary of her death." His voice was quiet and careful. Maya felt her anger fade. "I sat there for hours, talking to a headstone, telling her how sorry I was, how I'd failed to protect her and our daughter." "It wasn't your fault." "Wasn't it?" Luca turned back to face her. "I brought death into their lives, just like I'm bringing it into yours. I chose to help you." "You didn't know what you were choosing." "No," Maya said, "but I'd do it again." Something shifted in his expression. Surprise, maybe, or gratitude. "Why?" "Because everyone deserves help when they're broken." Luca was quiet for a long time. "Even me?" "Especially you." The silence stretched between them. Maya could hear her own heartbeat. "I should go," she said finally. "Check on Sammy." "Maya." She stopped at the door. "Thank you for what you said." Maya nodded and left him standing in the dark. The attack came at dawn. Maya woke to the sound of gunfire and shouting. For a confused moment, she thought it was a dream. Then the window in her room exploded. Glass scattered across the floor as Maya rolled out of bed. More gunfire echoed from outside. "Sammy!" She ran to his room and found him huddled under his bed, eyes wide with terror. "Come here, baby." She pulled him into her arms and carried him to the bathroom. No windows, solid walls. "Stay here," she whispered. "Don't come out until I say so." "Maya, no. I'll be right back. I promise." Maya crept back to her bedroom and looked out the broken window. Men in dark clothes were moving across the lawn, firing at the house. More men fired back from windows and doorways. Luca's security team, fighting to protect the property. And in the middle of it all, Maya saw him. Luca moved like a predator, calm and deadly. He carried a gun and used it with terrifying precision. Maya watched him eliminate 2 attackers without hesitation. No emotion, no wasted movement. This was who he really was. Not the broken man from the alley, but something harder and more dangerous. The gunfire stopped as suddenly as it had started. Maya heard footsteps in the hallway. Heavy boots moving fast. Someone pounded on her door. "Maya, open up!" Luca's voice, but strained, urgent. Maya unlocked the door and found him standing there with blood on his shirt. "Are you hurt?" he asked. "No, Sammy's in the bathroom." "Good, we need to move." Move where? Safer location. They found us here. Maya felt her world tilt again. Who found us? Calabresi's people. But this is your house. Your security isn't enough. Luca walked past her to the bathroom. Sammy, it's okay. You can come out. Sammy emerged slowly, still trembling. Are the bad men gone? He asked. For now, Luca said gently. But we need to go somewhere else. I want to stay here. I know, but it's not safe anymore. Maya watched Luca talk to her brother. His voice was patient and kind, nothing like the killer she'd seen outside. Where will we go? She asked. I have other properties, safer ones. How many other properties do you have? Enough. Maya felt tired suddenly. Tired of running, tired of being scared, tired of not understanding anything. This is never going to end, is it? Luca's eyes found hers. Not until Calabresi is dealt with. And when will that be? Soon. Maya had heard that word before. It didn't comfort her anymore. Pack light, Luca said. We leave in 10 minutes. As he walked away, Maya heard him talking quietly on his phone. She caught fragments of the conversation. Increase security. Safe house. Eliminate the threat. Maya shivered. She was beginning to understand that in Luca's world, problems didn't get solved. They got eliminated. And she was quickly becoming someone's problem. The safe house was smaller, but more secure. Hidden in the mountains outside the city, surrounded by woods and electronic surveillance. Maya and Sammy were given adjoining rooms on the second floor. Mrs. Enzo had packed their belongings and followed them to the new location. How many houses does Mr. Romano have? Maya asked. Enough to keep you safe, Mrs. Enzo replied. Another non-answer. Maya was getting tired of those. That evening, she found Luca on the back porch. He was cleaning his gun with practiced movements. Is that the same gun you used this morning? One of them. Maya sat in the chair beside him. How many people did you kill today? 4. Do you feel anything when you do that? Luca was quiet for a moment. Relief. Relief? That they didn't kill you first. Maya's chest tightened. Is that what this is about? Protecting me? That's what it's always been about. I didn't ask for protection. You didn't ask for Calabresi to want you dead either. Maya watched him work on the gun. His hands were steady and sure. Tell me about your wife, she said. Luca's hand stilled. Why? Because I want to understand. Understand what? Why you're doing this. Luca set down the gun and looked out at the darkening woods. Her name was Isabella. We met in college, before I took over the family business. She knew what you were. Eventually, I tried to keep her separate from it, but it doesn't work that way. No, it doesn't. Maya waited for him to continue. She was pregnant when Calabresi killed her. 7 months. Maya's breath caught. I'm sorry. It was my fault. I got careless, thought I could have a normal life. You can't blame yourself for what someone else did. Can I? Luca picked up the gun again and resumed cleaning it. After they died, I thought about following them. Easier than living with the guilt. But you didn't. No. Why not? Luca was quiet for so long that Maya thought he wouldn't answer. Because you found me in that alley, he said finally, and reminded me that some people still choose kindness. Maya felt something shift in her chest. Understanding, maybe, or recognition. So this isn't about debt, she said. No. It's about hope. Luca's eyes found hers. Don't make me sound noble. I'm not. Maybe not, but you're not evil either. I've done evil things. To protect people you care about. Does that make it better? Maya thought about Sammy asleep upstairs, about the lengths she'd go to keep him safe. "Sometimes," she said. They sat in comfortable silence as night fell around them. Maya felt safer than she had in days, and she wasn't sure why. Maybe it was the guards and security cameras. Maybe it was the weapons and electronic surveillance. Or maybe it was the man sitting beside her, cleaning his gun with gentle hands. The next morning brought news that changed everything. Maya was making breakfast when Vittorio arrived. He looked grim and tired. "We need to talk," he told Luca. They disappeared into Luca's office. Maya tried not to listen, but their voices carried through the thin walls. "Calabrese knows about the safe house. Has someone on the inside? Need to move again." Maya felt her stomach drop. How many times would they have to run? When the men emerged from the office, Luca's face was stone. "What's wrong?" Maya asked. "We have a problem?" "Another one?" "Calabrese has been tracking us. Someone's feeding him information." Maya's chest tightened. "Someone here?" "Someone who knows our movements." Vittorio spoke quietly. "Could be anyone. Security guard, housekeeper, driver." Maya thought about Mrs. Enzo's kindness, about the guards who'd risked their lives that morning. "You think someone here betrayed us?" "I don't think anything," Luca said. "I know someone did." "How?" "Because Calabrese attacked the mansion 30 minutes after we arrived. He attacked this house 12 hours after we got here." Maya felt sick. "So what do? We disappear." "For how long?" "Permanently." The word hit Maya harder than she'd expected. Permanently meant never going home, never seeing familiar places or faces again. It meant becoming someone else entirely. "What about Sammy?" she asked. "He needs stability. He needs school and friends, and he needs to be alive," Luca said quietly. Maya couldn't argue with that. "Where would we go?" "I have a place, completely off the grid." "For how long?" "Until this is over." Maya was tired of that phrase. And when will that be? Luca and Vittorio exchanged the looks. "Soon," Vittorio said. Maya almost laughed. "You keep saying that." "Because it's true," Luca said. "Calabrese made this personal when he killed my family. I'm going to make sure he regrets that choice." Something in his voice made Maya shiver. This wasn't just about protection anymore. This was about revenge. And she and Sammy were caught in the middle of a war that had started long before they'd ever met Luca Romano. "Pack everything," Luca said. "We leave in an hour." "Where are we going?" "Somewhere Calabrese will never find us." Maya hoped he was right, because she was beginning to understand that in this world, being wrong meant being dead, and she had too much to lose to take that risk. The cabin sat on 50 acres of wilderness, 3 hours from the nearest town. No phone lines, no internet, no neighbors for miles. Maya stood on the front porch and felt the weight of isolation settle over her. "It's temporary," Luca said behind her. "You keep saying that." "Because it's true." Maya turned to face him. "How temporary?" "A few weeks, maybe a month." "And then what?" "Then Calabrese won't be a problem anymore." Maya felt cold despite the warm afternoon sun. "You're going to kill him." "Yes." "What if something happens to you?" Luca was quiet for a moment. "Vittorio will take care of you and Sammy." "That's not what I meant." "I know what you meant." Maya searched his face. "Do you care what happens to you?" "Not particularly." "Why not?" "Because I died 3 years ago. Everything since then has been borrowed time." Maya felt her chest tighten. "That's not true. Isn't it?" Sammy appeared in the doorway, carrying his backpack and looking worried. "Are we staying here?" he asked. For a little while, Maya said. I like it. It's quiet. Maya smiled at her brother. After everything they'd been through, he could still find something positive. Why don't you explore? She suggested. But stay where I can see you. Sammy ran off toward a cluster of pine trees. Maya watched him go, grateful for his resilience. He's a good kid, Luca said. The best. He looks like you. Same parents. Are they still alive? Maya's throat tightened. Car accident, 6 months ago. I'm sorry. Sammy was in the car. He hasn't been the same since. The selective mutism? Maya nodded. Doctors say he'll talk when he's ready. They stood in comfortable silence, watching Sammy climb over fallen logs. What was your daughter like? Maya asked. Luca's expression grew soft. Smart, stubborn. She had her mother's eyes and my temper. How old was she? 4, just started preschool. Maya felt her heart break a little. What was her name? Sophia. That's beautiful. Isabella chose it, said it meant wisdom. Maya watched Sammy disappear behind a tree and emerge on the other side, grinning. You would have been a good father, she said. I was, for 4 years. You still are. Being a father doesn't end when your child dies? Maya faced him. When your child isn't there to need you anymore. But the love doesn't go away. Luca was quiet for a long time. How do you know? Because I still feel like I'm Sammy's parent, even though I'm just his sister. There's a difference. Not really. Love is love. Something shifted in his expression. You're very wise for 27. Tragedy ages you fast. Yes, it does. That evening, Maya made dinner while Luca and Sammy sat at the kitchen table playing cards. Mrs. Enzo had stayed at the safe house to maintain appearances. It was just the 3 of them now. Maya felt strange watching Luca interact with her brother, patient and gentle, explaining the rules of poker with serious attention. Is ace high or low? Sammy asked. Depends on the hand you're trying to make. That's confusing. Most good things are confusing at first. Sammy considered this. Are you confused about things? All the time. Like what? Luca glanced at Maya. Like how to keep people safe. Maya keeps me safe. I know she does. She's the bravest person I know. Maya felt her cheeks warm. Dinner's ready. They ate by candlelight because the generator was too loud to run all evening. The cabin felt cozy and peaceful. This is nice, Sammy said. Like camping. Have you been camping before? Luca asked. No, but Maya promised we would someday. Someday, Maya repeated quietly. After dinner, Sammy fell asleep on the couch reading a book. Maya covered him with a blanket and joined Luca on the front porch. He's comfortable with you, she said. He's comfortable with everyone. Kid doesn't have a suspicious bone in his body. That worries me sometimes. Why? The world isn't safe for people who trust too easily. Luca was quiet for a moment. Like you? I don't trust easily. You trusted me. That was different. How? Maya thought about the night in the alley. The broken man in expensive clothes. You needed help. I don't walk away from people who need help. Even when it's dangerous? Especially then. Luca turned to look at her. Why? Because if we don't help each other, what's the point of anything? Some people would say survival is the point. Survival isn't living. No, Luca agreed. It's not. They sat in comfortable silence, listening to night sounds from the forest. Can I ask you something? Maya said. Yes. That night in the alley. What were you really doing there? I told you, visiting Isabella's grave. After you killed 3 people? Luca was quiet for a long time. They ambushed me at the cemetery. I had to fight my way out. Then why were you crying? Because I realized something. What? That I was going to die alone, and I deserved to. Maya felt her chest tighten. Why did you think you deserved that? Because I couldn't protect the people I loved. So you decided not to love anyone else? Yes. How's that working out for you? Luca's mouth almost smiled. Not very well. Maya felt something shift between them. A recognition, maybe, or understanding. I should check on Sammy, she said. Maya. She stopped at the door. Thank you. For what? For not walking away. Maya looked at this man who'd brought chaos into her life. Dangerous and gentle, broken and strong. I'm not going anywhere, she said. 3 days passed in strange domestic peace. Maya cooked and cleaned while Luca taught Sammy to fish and identify bird calls. It felt almost like a family vacation if you ignored the guns hidden throughout the cabin. On the 4th morning, everything changed. Maya woke to find Luca gone. His bed was made, his clothes missing from the dresser. She found a note on the kitchen table. Gone to end this. Vittorio will come for you if I don't return. Take care of each other. L. Maya felt panic rise in her chest. Sammy! Her brother appeared from his bedroom, rubbing sleepy eyes. Where's Luca? He asked. He had to go away for a while. When will he come back? Maya stared at the note, her hands shaking. I don't know. The waiting was torture. Maya paced the cabin while Sammy played with his toys, occasionally asking when Luca would return. Maya made up stories about business trips and meetings, but she could see Sammy didn't believe her. By evening, she was ready to climb the walls. I'm scared, Sammy said during dinner. Why? Because you're scared. And if you're scared, something bad is happening. Maya felt her throat tighten. Her brother was too perceptive for his own good. Everything's going to be okay. Promise? Maya looked at this child who'd already lost so much. Parents, home, security. Promise, she said. But she wasn't sure she believed it. That night, she sat on the porch with Luca's gun in her lap. She'd found it hidden in his bedroom, along with instructions on how to use it. Point, squeeze, don't pull the trigger. Maya had never held a weapon before. It felt heavy and wrong in her hands. But if someone came for Sammy, she'd use it. The forest was full of sounds, wind in the trees, animals moving through undergrowth, branches creaking. Every sound made her heart race. Around midnight, headlights cut through the darkness. Maya felt her blood turn to ice. She ran inside and woke Sammy. We need to hide, she whispered. Why? Just come with me. She pulled him into the bathroom and locked the door. Then she waited, gun in hand, listening to car doors slam. Footsteps on the front porch. Heavy boots. A knock on the door. Maya, it's Vittorio. Relief flooded through her. She unlocked the bathroom and ran to the front door. Vittorio stood on the porch, looking tired and grim. Where's Luca? Maya asked. Hospital. Maya's chest tightened. What happened? He found Calabresi. Is he alive? Barely. Maya felt the world tilt. I need to see him. That's why I'm here. The hospital was an hour away in the nearest city. Maya held Sammy's hand in the back seat while Vittorio drove in silence. What happened? Maya asked. Calabresi had more men than we expected. How many? Dozen, maybe more. And Luca went alone? Luca does what Luca wants. Maya felt angry and scared and helpless. Is he going to be okay? Don't know yet. The hospital was small and understaffed. Maya and Sammy sat in a waiting room that smelled like disinfectant while Vittorio talked to doctors. Is Luca going to die? Sammy asked. I hope not. I like him. Me too. Do you love him? The question caught Maya off guard. She looked at her brother's serious face. I don't know. I think you do. Why? Because you look at him the way Mama used to look at Daddy. Maya felt her throat tighten. How did Mama look at Daddy? Like he was the most important person in the world. Maya's chest ached. Her brother was right, and she hadn't even realized it. Somewhere between the alley and the cabin, she'd fallen in love with a man who might be dying 3 rooms away. Vittorio returned an hour later. He's stable, he said. Doctors want to keep him overnight. Can I see him? 5 minutes. Maya left Sammy with Vittorio and followed a nurse down a sterile hallway. Luca lay in a narrow bed connected to machines that beeped and hummed. His face was bruised, his left arm in a sling, but he was awake. Hey, he said when he saw her. Hey yourself. Maya sat in the chair beside his bed. How do you feel? Like I got shot. Did you? Twice. Maya felt sick. Where? Shoulder and leg. Nothing vital. Nothing vital? Luca, you could have died. But I didn't. This time. He reached for her hand with his good arm. It's over, Maya. What's over? Calabrese. He's dead. Maya felt a strange mix of relief and revulsion. You killed him? Yes. How do you feel about that? Tired. Maya squeezed his hand. What happens now? Now you're safe. What about you? What about me? Are you safe? Luca's eyes found hers. I don't know. From other criminals? From myself? Maya didn't understand, but something in his voice scared her. What do you mean? I mean, I've lived for revenge for 3 years. Now that it's over, I don't know what comes next. Life comes next. I don't remember how to live. Maya leaned forward. Then learn. How? Start small. Get better. Come home. Home? The cabin, with me and Sammy. Something shifted in his expression. Hope, maybe, or possibility. You want me to come home? I want you to want to come home. Luca was quiet for a long moment. And if I do? Then we figure out what comes after revenge. What if I don't know how? Maya smiled. Then I'll teach you. Why? Because everyone deserves a second chance. Even me? Especially you. Luca squeezed her hand. Maya? Yes? I think I'm falling in love with you. Maya felt her heart stop and restart. Think. No, I know I'm falling in love with you. Good, she said, because I'm already there. Luca's smile was the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen. So what happens now? He asked. Now you get better, and then we go home. Home, he repeated. Home. The doctor released Luca the next morning with strict instructions to rest and take his medication. Maya drove them back to the cabin while Luca dozed in the passenger seat. Sammy sat behind him, occasionally patting his shoulder to make sure he was still breathing. He's okay, Maya told her brother. I know, but I want to be sure. The cabin looked different when they pulled up. Not like a hiding place anymore, but like a home. Mrs. Enzo was waiting on the porch with fresh bread and soup. You look terrible, she told Luca. Thank you. Get inside. You need food and rest. Maya helped Luca to the couch while Mrs. Enzo bustled around the kitchen. Sammy sat beside him and carefully examined his bandages. Does it hurt? Sammy asked. A little. Maya has medicine that makes hurt go away. What kind of medicine? Sammy grinned. Hugs. Luca looked at Maya. Is that right? Sometimes? Think it would work for me? Only one way to find out. Maya sat on Luca's other side and carefully put her arms around him. He leaned into her warmth and sighed. Better? She asked. Much. They sat there for a long time, three people who'd found each other in the darkness and chosen to make their own light. I love you, Luca said quietly. I love you too. Does this mean you're staying? Sammy asked. Luca looked at the boy who'd become like a son to him. If you'll have me? Forever? If that's what you want. Sammy nodded seriously. That's what I want. Maya felt her heart overflow. Then that's what we'll do. All of us together? All of us together. Luca pulled them both closer. Home, he said. Home, Maya agreed, and for the first time in years, the word felt true. 6 months later, Maya woke to the sound of Sammy's laughter echoing through the house. Not the cabin in the woods, but a real house. White picket fence, big yard, neighbors who brought casseroles and didn't ask awkward questions. Luca had bought it under a different name, far from the city and the life he'd left behind. Maya found them in the kitchen. Sammy was standing on a chair helping Luca flip pancakes. Flour covered every surface, and both males were grinning. What's all this? Maya asked. Breakfast, Sammy announced proudly. I'm the chef. I can see that. Luca caught her eye over Sammy's head. His smile was soft and content. The hard edges that had defined him for so long were gone. How many pancakes do you want? He asked. 2, maybe 3. The chef recommends 4. The chef is 7 years old. The chef has excellent taste. Maya laughed and poured herself coffee. This domestic scene still felt surreal sometimes. Luca Romano, former crime boss, teaching her brother to cook breakfast. It shouldn't work, but somehow it did. Are we still going to the park today? Sammy asked. If the weather holds, Luca said. Can I bring my soccer ball? Of course, Sammy beamed. Maya, did you know Luca can juggle a soccer ball 37 times? I did not know that. He's going to teach me. That sounds fun. Maya watched them work together and felt her chest warm. Sammy had bloomed under Luca's attention. He talked constantly now, asked a million questions, and laughed at everything. The trauma of losing their parents hadn't disappeared, but it had faded into something manageable. Maya? Sammy tugged on her sleeve. What, baby? Can I ask you something? Always. Sammy glanced at Luca, who nodded encouragingly. Are you and Luca going to get married? Maya's breath caught. Why do you ask? Because Tommy's mom says people who love each other get married. And you love each other, right? Maya looked at Luca, who was suddenly very interested in his pancakes. We do love each other, she said carefully. So are you going to get married? That's complicated. Why? How did you explain to a 7-year-old that marriage meant paperwork and legal names and backgrounds that wouldn't stand up to scrutiny? Because sometimes grown-ups need time to figure things out, Luca said gently. How much time? However long it takes. Sammy considered this. What if I want you to be my dad? Maya felt her throat tighten. Luca went very still. What? Luca asked quietly. I want you to be my dad, like officially. Sammy, Maya started. Tommy has a stepdad, and he adopted him, and now Tommy has 2 dads. I want that. Luca knelt down so he was eye level with Sammy. You want me to adopt you? Yes, and marry Maya. Then we'd be a real family. We're already a real family, Luca said. The paper doesn't change that. But it would make it official. Is that what you want, for it to be official? Sammy nodded seriously. I want everyone to know you're my dad. Maya watched Luca's face crumble slightly. This man who'd lost one child was being offered another. I would be honored, Luca said quietly, to be your dad. Really? Really? Sammy threw his arms around Luca's neck. I love you, Dad. Luca held him tight, his eyes closed. I love you too, son. Maya felt tears slip down her cheeks, happy tears this time. What about you? Luca asked, looking up at her. Any thoughts on making this official? I might have a few thoughts. Such as? Such as yes. Luca stood, still holding Sammy. Yes to marriage or yes to adoption? Yes to all of it. Even though I come with baggage? We all come with baggage. Mine's heavier than most. Maya stepped closer and put her arms around both of them. Then it's good we're strong enough to carry it together. Luca kissed the top of her head. I don't deserve this. None of us deserve anything. We just get lucky sometimes. I got lucky the night you found me. We all did. They stood there in their flower-covered kitchen, holding each other tight. So, we're really doing this? Luca asked. We're really doing this, Maya confirmed. All of us together? All of us together. Sammy pulled back to look at them both. Can we have the wedding in our backyard? If that's what you want, Maya said. And can I walk you down the aisle? I wouldn't want anyone else. And can we have cake? Luca laughed. We can have whatever kind of cake you want. Chocolate? Chocolate it is. Sammy grinned. This is the best day ever. Maya looked at her family, because that's what they were now, officially or not, and felt peace settle in her bones. Yes, she said. It really is. The wedding took place 3 months later in their backyard, under a canopy of string lights. Mrs. Enzo made the cake, Vittoria walked Maya down the aisle, and Sammy held the rings. It was small and simple and perfect. Do you, Luca Romano, take Maya Torres to be your wife? The officiant asked. I do. Do you, Maya Torres, take Luca Romano to be your husband? Maya looked at the man who'd started as a stranger in an alley and become her whole world. I do. Then, by the power vested in me by the state, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Luca kissed her gently, while Sammy cheered, and Mrs. Enzo cried happy tears. How does it feel? Maya asked when they broke apart. Like coming home? Good answer. That night, after the guests had gone and Sammy was asleep, Maya and Luca sat on their back porch swing. No regrets? He asked. None. You? Just one. Maya's heart skipped. What? That it took us so long to get here. We got here when we were supposed to. You think? I know. Luca pulled her closer. What do you think happens next? Normal stuff. PTA meetings and soccer games and family vacations. Sounds boring. Sounds perfect. They swung gently in the warm evening air, listening to crickets and distant traffic. Maya? Thank you. For what this time? For saving my life. I didn't save your life. I gave you a sandwich. Same thing. Maya smiled against his shoulder. If you say so. I do say so. They sat in comfortable silence, two people who'd found each other in the darkness and chosen to build something beautiful. I love you, Luca said quietly. I love you too. From inside the house came the soft sound of Sammy talking in his sleep. Happy murmurs about soccer balls and adoption papers and chocolate cake. Maya felt her heart overflow with gratitude. They were home. They were safe. They were family. And for the first time in years, that was enough. Ready for bed? Luca asked. Ready for everything. He stood and offered her his hand. Then let's go start the rest of our lives. Maya took his hand and followed him inside. Together.